Let me guess, when you told your partner you were pregnant, he was so excited and you both had this amazing bonding moment. But now it's several weeks in and you're the one planning, you're the one researching. And anytime you ask him his opinion about anything, pregnancy or baby related, you're met with,
"Sure, babe. Sounds good. I don't care. You pick. Fine with me. I don't know. Prenatal appointment. Why do I have to go to those?"
and if you try to talk to him about being so nonchalant, you're met with,
"Well, of course I care. Of course I'm excited. I want to help. Just tell me what to do."
but you don't want to have to tell him what to do, right? You want him to want to be involved.
Well, if you watch this video all the way through, you'll have 20 practical examples of ways to get him involved and excited, even if it feels like he's on another planet. But before we begin, be sure to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss more birth tips for couples. And if you haven't yet downloaded our free trimester checklist for couples, the link is in the description. It's an amazing resource for getting partners involved in the baby prep process.
Okay, so the first tip is actually about this topic as a whole. Communicate clearly and don't jump to conclusions. Women often start to panic and think, he's so disconnected. Did he even want to be a dad? Will he help out when the baby's here? But Ben is the first one to tell you, most men are far behind you in terms of the reality about to hit them. Not to sound insulting, but it's because it's biological. You're the one pregnant. You're the one literally carrying this baby. He has no physiological connection to it like you do. So you need to first cut him some slack.
Right. Sometimes I see on social media moms try to psychoanalyze why a guy might be uninvolved, and he's probably got all this anxiety about being a dad he's not sharing about. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. Or chances are he's just a dude and fatherhood hasn't really hit him yet because he doesn't have the child in his arms. In fact, that's why so many men cry during birth, because the arrival hits them like so unexpectedly that it's overwhelming. And not every guy cries, by the way. That's totally normal if they don't. But anyway, if you want him to be more involved, don't worry about his connection to the baby because it's likely not there. However, he is connected to you. He loves you, and so you must communicate clearly for him to make the connection between his love for you and being involved in the pregnancy or birth. So instead of asking, "Why don't you ever want to go to prenatals with me?" say, "Hey, I know you love me and are always looking for ways to show it. Attending prenatals with me would really make me feel more supported, and it would just mean so much to me if you were there." Or, "Hey, I know you probably don't care about what stroller we get, but I'm feeling overwhelmed with the planning. If you just took that off my plate, man, it would mean so much to me." So always assume the best, which is he wants to be involved. He just doesn't know how.
Along those lines of communication, pregnancy is a great time to start weekly meetings, which is our second tip. We are so glad we built this habit in our marriage many years ago. It started out just as a time to check in with each other. How are you doing? What are you feeling? How's your week? But now it's evolved into a wonderful time where we talk about our marriage, our kids, and practical things. What's working in our home? What changes would we make? There's no formula for this. We might talk for 10 minutes. We might talk for an hour. We might pray together, tell stories from our week, peruse through our calendars, analyze our budget, or sometimes just hold hands and chit chat. But one thing's for sure, we're consistent. If not, there's no way we could keep our relationship strong amidst raising 3 kids, running a business, and dealing with all the busyness of life.
Our third tip is to divvy up the prep process. There are countless tasks to get done before having a baby, from big jobs like remodeling to little jobs like researching car seat options. It can quickly become overwhelming trying to keep track of all that. So it's okay to begin working through your lists as soon as possible, and it's never too soon to start. It's no fun leaving all that stuff to the last minute, especially when you're super pregnant. So make a to-do list, prioritize what should be done first, and just divide up the jobs. If you want help, we have our free trimester checklist for couples in the description, so you can see what needs to be done during each of those trimesters.
Number 4 is to attend prenatal appointments together. It's not mandatory or necessary for dad to attend all the prenatal appointments, but we highly recommend he attend a few, especially as your due date approaches. Encouraging dad's involvement can significantly enhance the pregnancy experience for both of you. If you can't attend an appointment physically or virtually, remind yourselves to debrief after each so he's in the loop. This may include talking about test results or discussions that you had during the appointment.
Our fifth tip and another way to connect is to look at baby pictures together. Plan a fun date night where you look through each other's baby or childhood pictures together and let that be a springboard to discuss the parenting styles you both experienced growing up and thinking about just disciplinary methods, communication styles, levels of emotional support. And that helps you reflect on what you can glean from your own upbringing, including the positive aspects that you want to mimic and the potential negative patterns that you might want to avoid. It's a great way to start talking about parenthood and all of this become more real for both of you.
Our sixth tip is to complete your registry together. Chances are mom is the one browsing baby products online because it's fun and there's so much stinking cuteness out there, but don't forget to bring dad in on the fun. Registering together allows your partner not just to get excited about all the baby gear, but it's also another way for him to think about your postpartum needs. So for example, when you two shop for breastfeeding gear and products, it's an excellent time to discuss how involved breastfeeding is and why dad's awareness and support can make nursing so much easier. If you want a registry list that's super concise, but also comprehensive and for both you, dad, and baby, click the description below to download our free registry checklist for couples.
Tip number 7 is to double date with other parents. Examine your social circle and consider friends that have kids with whom you'd like to go on a double date with. And when you hang out, use that time to ask them about their parenting journey and any tips they have. And if you don't have close friends with kids, consider people you don't see as often or even an older couple who can pass down their years of wisdom. Don't be afraid of the awkwardness. If you're clear about your intentions, they will happily hang out and share their insight on parenting. Listen, parents love helping other parents.
It's so true. Our eighth tip is to take a birth class together. We cannot stress enough how critical it is that you both take a high quality birth class together. It allows you to both be on the same page about your birth plan, and it empowers your partner to be the supportive partner you need during labor and postpartum. We recommend our birth class. It's called the Balanced Birth Class for Couples because a couple teaches it, that's us. It's fun, we play games, it's on demand, and it covers all types of birth and postpartum topics. You can learn more about it in the description below.
Tip number 9, develop your birth plan together. Too many moms write the birth plans alone and don't include their partner in those decisions and this planning. And when that happens, your partner's not going to understand how vital everything on that birth plan is to you. It's essential to write it together so that, number 1, he understands what's going on, and number 2, you both find opportunities for him to step in and support and advocate for that plan. You'll want to choose the type of birth you desire, whether that's home birth, hospital, and discuss how you'd like your partner to support specifically in each of those settings. In our birth class, we have an entire template for couples on how to walk through this birth plan together.
Number 10 is to take monthly bump photos. So you can take these photos once a month to capture how mom's belly is growing throughout the pregnancy. You can take them anywhere, but taking a photo in the exact location each month is an easy way to compare belly size over time. Dad could take the photos of mom by herself, or you can set up a self timer to take your bump photos together. Both bumps. These can be candid moments, laughing together, or showing some affection. Either way, just have fun with it.
Another fun way to connect is to start a scrapbook, our 11th tip. Scrapbooks are a fun way to start preserving pregnancy memories that you, your partner, and your child can look back on over the years. And as you add those bump photos and photos from the gender reveal or baby showers, write about your reactions as well. What was partner's reaction to the news that he was going to be a dad? What baby names did you both discuss? What foods does mom crave? You can also document family history by including pictures of mom or dad as a child.
And along the same lines, number 12 is to make a time capsule. So a time capsule provides a snapshot of your life during the period leading up to your baby's birth. So you can consider putting a box together of items that represent this moment in time for you and your partner. You can add written messages, photographs, family heirlooms, news articles, and so much more. And then once baby arrives, you can continue to add to it for their first year of life. Items like greeting cards, small toys, first outfits, and all of that will be fantastic to see and hold when your child has grown. We actually never did this, but we did make a video version where we gave a tour of our home and talked about just what our life would have been like before our kids were born and how excited we were to meet them.
If you want to enjoy your last few months together before baby arrives, then you'll like number 13, plan a baby moon. One of the most significant limitations after you have kids is your inability to travel often or conveniently or cheaply. And a baby moon is basically one last hoorah as a couple before you have kids and settle down. We are huge fans of baby moons. Before we had our first child, we went on this epic 2-week road trip across the country that would have been impossible to do with kids, or at least do easily. And we built a lot of memories as a couple that we still talk about today. We were also on a really tight budget during that trip, so don't let money prevent you from spending that special quality time together.
Speaking of money, our 14th tip may be a little expensive, but it's a good time to consider doing it: remodeling your house. With a new baby on the horizon, there might be some things in the house that you or your partner would like to remodel. Is there a playroom or an extra bedroom that you want to add onto the house? Now is the time to make any home remodeling plans. Don't exert yourself though too much while pregnant, or do any work obviously that would be unsafe. You can ask friends and family if they can help out your partner if you're not planning on hiring out that work.
Our 15th tip is to schedule a pregnancy photo shoot with your partner. We recommend scheduling a pregnancy photo shoot for the 3rd trimester of your pregnancy to capture the beauty and excitement of the moment. Professional photographers, they know how to capture your best angles and highlight the beauty of pregnancy, which can boost mom's self-esteem and confidence when her body's undergoing a lot of changes. And including dad in some of those photos allows them to play an active role in documenting this milestone as a family. So make it fun and enjoy this time together.
A more unconventional but fun tip is number 16. Have a couple's baby shower instead of a mom-only baby shower. So what you would do is, instead of having the baby shower only for mom, you could actually invite your partner along. This allows both parents to participate actively in the celebration, and it makes it a little more inclusive of friends and family. It also acknowledges the importance of both partners in the journey to parenthood and shows support for your partner instead of only for mom. You can make this a fun gathering by incorporating activities that include both men and women, like baby-themed trivia or diaper changing contests. It can be really fun.
Number 17 is a practical way to connect brainstorming baby names together. And this is common, for most couples, but don't underestimate the joy that can come from this activity as you connect with this invisible human growing inside of you. There's something special that happens when you really start to think about actual names. The baby becomes a person as you visualize them with an actual name. And have an open mind as you consider each other's ideas, whether they're classic and traditional to maybe unique or unconventional names. Resources like Nameberry and Behind the Name are excellent resources to get you started. It's also a great time to discuss the meanings of those names that you're pondering about. We're all about the meaning of names.
Another practical task you can do together is number 18, designing the nursery. Putting both of your minds together to design your baby's future room is one way to make parenthood feel even more real. There's something special and a little emotional about seeing a tidy crib in a newly decorated nursery. And when designing the nursery, mom and dad can share ideas, pick out stuff they love, and dream up the perfect space for their little one. Crossing the nursery off the to-do list gives a sense of accomplishment and readiness for the big day.
Speaking of practical, number 19 is super important to do before your baby arrives. Decide what to pack in your labor bag. Preparing your hospital bag ahead of time is always a good idea, and think about what you'd like to have in the labor room to help with that transition to delivery. You might want to pack tennis balls, a comb, a TENS machine, LED candles, snacks, music, etc. And if you're planning to deliver at a hospital, check to see what tools that they already offer laboring women so you don't overpack. And if you want another free resource, we have a hospital bag checklist for couples. The link is in the description below.
Our final tip that you will be thanking yourself for during postpartum is to prepare freezer meals together. Having freezer meals ready before the baby arrives is especially helpful during the busy and exhausting postpartum period. So together you can prepare quick, nutritious, delicious meals that can be frozen for later use. This way you'll have more of a say in what you'll be eating, like with the quality of food and the ingredients after your baby's born, if that's important to you. But it's also more cost effective than buying pre-made meals or ordering takeout every night. Family members or friends can also contribute to the freezer meal stash by preparing meals or assisting you.
We hope this was helpful for you. Let us know in the comments which of these you've already tried together or plan to try. And don't forget about all those free resources we mentioned in the description.